What if I told you that Halloween, the night of costumes and candy, was originally a festival where people believed the dead walked among the living, and that knocking on doors was not about treats, but about survival? Welcome to Time Vault Chronicles, where we uncover the hidden stories behind the world we know. Today we are diving into 5 dark and fascinating secrets about Halloween that will completely change how you see October 31st. Let us begin. Halloween is one of the most celebrated holidays worldwide, with billions spent on costumes, decorations, and candy every single year. But beneath the surface of this modern celebration lies an ancient past filled with fire, fear, and the supernatural. Here are 5 things about Halloween you probably never knew. Number 1. Halloween began as Samhain, a Celtic festival marking the end of harvest and the beginning of winter. Over 2,000 years ago, in the lands we now know as Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, the Celtic people celebrated a festival called Samhain, pronounced Samhain. This was not a party. This was a sacred and terrifying time. The Celts believed that on the night of October 31st, the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead became dangerously thin. During Samhain, it was believed that spirits, ghosts, and otherworldly beings could cross over into our realm. Some of these spirits were ancestors returning to visit their families, but others were malevolent entities looking to cause harm, destroy crops, or possess the living. To protect themselves, the Celts wore costumes made from animal skins and heads, hoping to disguise themselves as fellow spirits and avoid being recognized by the dangerous ones. They also lit massive sacred bonfires, often on hilltops, where they would gather to burn crops and animals as sacrifices to their gods. These fires were believed to have protective powers, and people would take flames from the bonfire back to their homes to relight their hearths, symbolizing the continuation of life through the dark winter months. The priests, known as Druids, played a central role during Samhain. They would make predictions about the future, which was especially important for communities facing the uncertainty of winter. The entire festival was a blend of fear, respect for the dead, and hope for survival. This ancient Celtic tradition is the true origin of what we now call Halloween. Number 2. The Christian Church tried to replace Samhain, but ended up creating Halloween instead. When Christianity spread across Celtic lands around the 8th and 9th centuries, the Church faced a problem. The people were deeply attached to their pagan traditions, including Samhain. Rather than banning these customs outright, which could cause rebellion, the Church decided on a clever strategy. They would absorb and transform the festival. In the year 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV established All Martyrs' Day, and later, Pope Gregory III expanded it to honor all saints and martyrs, creating All Saints' Day on November 1st. This day was also known as All Hallows' Day. The night before, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, which eventually was shortened to Halloween. The Church also introduced All Souls' Day on November 2nd, a day dedicated to praying for the souls of the dead. This 3-day period, known as All Hallowtide, incorporated many elements of Samhain. People still lit bonfires, wore costumes, and honored the dead, but now it was framed within a Christian context. However, many of the old pagan traditions persisted. People continued to believe that ghosts walked the earth during this time. They left out food and drinks for wandering spirits, a practice called souling, where the poor would go door to door offering prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes. This tradition is one of the direct ancestors of modern trick-or-treating. So Halloween, as we know it, is actually a hybrid. It is a fusion of ancient Celtic paganism and medieval Christian practices, blended together over centuries. The Church tried to Christianize a pagan festival, but what emerged was something entirely unique. Number 3. Halloween almost did not exist in America until Irish immigrants brought it back to life. When the first European colonists arrived in America, particularly the Puritans in New England, Halloween was virtually non-existent. The Puritans were extremely strict Protestants who rejected anything they considered too Catholic or too pagan. Celebrations like Halloween were seen as superstitious and were actively discouraged. However, in the southern colonies and Maryland, where there was more religious diversity, some harvest festivals with Halloween-like elements did occur, But these were nothing like the Halloween we know today. Everything changed in the mid-1800s with the Great Irish Famine, also known as the Potato Famine. Between 1845 and 1852, over 1 million Irish people fled to America to escape starvation and disease. These Irish immigrants brought their traditions with them, including the celebration of Halloween. The Irish version of Halloween included dressing in costumes, carving turnips into lanterns, and going door to door asking for food or money. In America, they discovered that pumpkins, a fruit native to North America, were much easier to carve than turnips, and thus the jack-o'-lantern as we know it was born. Initially, Halloween in America was a rough and chaotic affair. It often involved pranks, vandalism, and sometimes violence. By the early 20th century, communities wanted to make Halloween safer and more family-friendly. This led to organized community events, parties, and the modern version of trick-or-treating, which became widespread in the 1950s. So ironically, Halloween in America is actually a re-imported tradition. It traveled from ancient Ireland to America, where it was transformed into the commercialized, family-friendly holiday we celebrate today. Number 4. Halloween is not just an American holiday anymore. It has become a global phenomenon, but each country celebrates it differently. While Halloween originated in Ireland and became massively popular in the United States, its influence has spread across the globe, though not everywhere embraces it equally. In Ireland and Scotland, where it all began, Halloween is still deeply rooted in tradition. People light bonfires, play traditional games like bobbing for apples, and tell ghost stories. In Ireland, they also eat a traditional fruitcake called barmbrack, which has objects baked inside that are said to predict your future. In Mexico and Latin America, Halloween coincides with Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, celebrated on November 1st and 2nd. While Halloween focuses on fear and the supernatural, Dia de los Muertos is a joyful celebration honoring deceased loved ones with colorful altars, food offerings, and marigold flowers. The two holidays often blend together in modern celebrations. In Japan, Halloween has exploded in popularity over the last 2 decades, especially in cities like Tokyo and Osaka. However, it is less about trick-or-treating and more about massive costume parties and parades. The Shibuya district in Tokyo becomes a sea of elaborate costumes every October 31st. In countries like the Philippines, Halloween is celebrated with a religious tone, as families visit cemeteries to clean graves and hold vigils for their departed relatives. It is a solemn and respectful occasion, mixed with modern costume parties for the younger generation. Interestingly, in some countries, Halloween has faced resistance. In Russia, the Orthodox Church has criticized it as a Western and pagan influence. In parts of the Middle East, Halloween is not widely celebrated due to religious reasons, but overall, Halloween has become one of the most recognizable holidays worldwide, generating over $10 billion annually just in the United States alone. It is a testament to how a 2,000-year-old Celtic tradition has evolved into a modern global celebration. Number 5. Some of the darkest and strangest Halloween superstitions are still believed today. Even in our modern scientific world, Halloween retains an air of superstition and mystery. Many of these beliefs have roots in ancient traditions, and some people still take them seriously. One of the oldest superstitions is that Halloween is the one night of the year when witches, demons, and ghosts have the most power. In medieval Europe, people believed that witches held their most important gatherings on Halloween night, flying on broomsticks to secret locations to perform dark rituals. There is also the belief that if you wear your clothes inside out and walk backward on Halloween night, you will see a witch at midnight. Similarly, if you stare into a mirror at midnight on Halloween, some say you will see your future spouse, while others warn you might see the face of death itself. Black cats have long been associated with Halloween and bad luck, a belief stemming from the Middle Ages, when cats, especially black ones, were thought to be witches in disguise, or their demonic companions called familiars. In Scotland and Ireland, there is a tradition that if you hear footsteps behind you on Halloween night, you must never look back. It is believed that the dead are following you, and if you acknowledge them, they might follow you home or steal your soul. Another eerie superstition involves silence. In some cultures, it is believed that if you sit in complete silence at a crossroads on Halloween night, you will hear the names of those in your community who will die in the coming year. These superstitions may sound absurd to many, but they reveal something important about Halloween. It has always been a night where the line between reality and the supernatural feels just a little bit thinner. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, Halloween taps into something primal in human nature, our fascination with death, the unknown, and what might lie beyond. So there you have it, 5 dark and fascinating secrets about Halloween, from its origins as the Celtic festival of Samhain, to its transformation by the Christian Church, its journey to America with Irish immigrants, its spread across the globe, and the eerie superstitions that still haunt the holiday today. Halloween is far more than just costumes and candy. It is a celebration with roots stretching back thousands of years, connecting us to our ancestors and their beliefs about life, death, and the supernatural. What do you think? Do you celebrate Halloween? And did any of these facts surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through time, make sure to subscribe to Time Vault Chronicles and hit that notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into history and geography. Share this video with someone who loves Halloween or fascinating history. Until next time, keep exploring the past, and remember, every tradition has a story, and every story has secrets waiting to be uncovered. Thanks for watching. See you in the next Chronicle.